Good afternoon. My name is Susan Smith, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Salem witch trials. As everyone knows, the Salem witch trials is one of the bloodiest massacres that occurred in Salem, Massachusetts, in the year 1692. It began with accusations dating as far as 1638 to as later as 1705, I believe. I believe that was the last recorded witness statement from one of the last court proceedings. These are a couple of pictures that you will see along this slideshow of gravestones of people accused of witchcraft. As you can see, there is some recent rhetoric in terms of being burned to the stake. As you can see, they're doing burns as in, insults. The thing about the Salem witch trials is that it was seen as one of the most religious-oriented and hysterical movements that occurred in Salem, Massachusetts. My belief is that due to economical problems occurring between East and West Salem, and then as well as sociological changes, there were many contributing factors into why there was such a diverse amount of people that were accused. Here we see Sarah Good. She was hanged actually 3 days after my birthday, July 16th. But she is just one of the many. There is actually another one. Her name was Rebecca Nurse. Her grave will be seen later on in the slideshow. Rebecca Nurse was a woman who was trying to stand up to Minister Paris. Her brothers and friends stood up to him and excommunicated themselves from the church and refused to return until Minister Paris was brought before the church elders and brought to justice. Here we see a man named George Burroughs, who was also accused. As you can see, not as many men were accused, but still the fact remains that men were still a focal point between women accusers who were trying to assert themselves in a sociological standpoint and in society to try and get ahead of the curve. Another major factor of this is the fact that two feuding families were trying to claim rights over the land that was being divided between West and East Salem. A shocking 13% of accusations was directed to a family called the Putnams. And they had to lose many family members and lost many acres of land due to the fact that a prominent family from East Salem kept accusing this land-wealthy family, which was the Salem Putnams, of witchcraft, heresy, and devil worshipping. The major fact that we know about Salem is the torturous methods they used to get accusations and confessions out of these women and men. They subjected them to water torture and sometimes would even burn them. And I believe there was even one account from a witness testimonial who said her friend was burned with lye, which is a form of acid that can eat away flesh and go through bones. It's a very dangerous chemical to mess with. No one really wants to see it. As you can see, this comical meme from a movie called Monty Python's The Holy Grail, it's basically the same as accusations weighed against women and men of the time. And even here, we can see the rhetoric of people in Massachusetts at the Salem Memorial, where people leave broomsticks and other sorts of witchcraft accessories on gravestones of people who they still believe to this day were in fact witches. It's very strong to see this to this day. The problem with the Salem witch hunts is that due to a women's rise through ranks, men being accused because of villainous actions taken against other women, and here, like I stated earlier, Francis Nurse, one of the men who was related to Rebecca Nurse, who, as you can see on his gravestone, served in the militia during this time of the Revolutionary War. Many people lost their lives during these trials, and it wasn't for a very good reason. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.